Right now at 5, the Osage Beach Police Department is mourning the loss of one of their own over the weekend.
And some of us a downright chilly start to the day across the area. We'll talk about that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, local greenhouses are spinning more as temperatures continue to be high. Lonnie Walton has more.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Anthony Saviello.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Labor Day. We are laboring for you folks at home.
No, I'm tired.
Don't get me wrong. We're not really laboring so much as we're here. So I did want to ask you something before we dive into this forecast. So people who own electric cars, do they listen to AC/DC or is it something more current? You're welcome. Let's take a look outside with our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. I have to keep him on his toes somehow. It's Labor Day. It's Monday. Now this poor kid has done something, I think for the first time, that I've done many times, where you work the night before and come in the morning. I told him, no, I just slept in the lobby because it was easier than driving home. But he drove home. Then it's whatever. It's whatever. Everybody's different. We got a nice view, though, from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. 7th and Rangeline also looking pretty good. On the way in, I noted maybe a cloud or two. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline also looking fairly good as well. Future track, not much to show as we go through today. We're going to have clouds increasing pretty quickly through the morning, and then we will be mostly cloudy to at times just plain old cloudy out there, but no rain expected, so don't let the clouds fool you. We're not looking at any precipitation today. 63 Joplin and Pittsburgh right now, and take a look at some of these temperatures the further north you go. Upper 50s for some folks out there. As you head a little further south, a little warmer, upper 60s, but either way you paint it, a very nice start to our Labor Day. Going to be a pretty decent day. Again, just aside from the mostly cloudy skies, we're looking at highs into the low to mid 80s. So below normal temperatures out there. Average high is 88. We're not going to be at that. Now, of course, we were a little warmer yesterday, which was uncomfortable to say the least. We're going to talk about the rest of your forecast, some pop-up storm chances, and how long the cool weather lasts here in just a few more minutes. Anthony?
All right, Chris, thanks. A Missouri police officer has been killed in the line of duty. Felicia Carson died in a crash during a police pursuit early Saturday morning. Missouri State Highway Patrol still have an ongoing investigation about the circumstances of the crash. Carson had been with the police department since June of 2023. Carson leaves behind a husband and 6 children. Joplin police have identified the driver of the semi-truck killed earlier this week on Interstate 44. On Tuesday, authorities responded to reports of a rollover crash at the 9-mile marker on I-44. The semi-truck, driven by 51-year-old Jermaine Bingham of Bixby, Oklahoma, left the roadway and struck an overhead sign support pole. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Well, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. A local greenhouse in Neosho says he had to spend more time and money to keep on top of things due to consistently high temperatures this season. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Daniel Mitchell from 4 States Greenhouse says the weather just hasn't been good for him or his crops this season.
It's been just a drought the entire month, right? You don't really get much rain. It's just the clouds aren't as thick as they used to be.
Due to the extra time and money spent on additional gear, he had to find work elsewhere.
We've done a couple landscaping jobs just to be able to pay for some of the stuff that we've been doing here, and I mean, of course, we're happy to do it, but you know, we're always running out of time because we're constantly busy.
Angela Harris from Alchemist Haven says these temperatures are bad for small businesses.
Small local farmers really struggle to have those things, especially when natural resources aren't there.
Angela says there are a few ways to keep your crops safe.
Make sure that you have proper runoff for your crops so you're not wasting water as they're being watered.
Reporting in Southwest Missouri, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The greenhouse sells mums at shops across the area, including at Alchemist Haven in Joplin. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up, the KOAM Morning News. The Royals are still pushing for a place in the playoffs. We'll have the results from last night's game. Plus, 6 more hostages are found dead as the war in Gaza continues. And Chris Warner will have your Labor Day forecast. You're watching KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, the first weekend of college football wraps up as Pittsburg State begins the season with a 1-0 record after Saturday night's game. The Gorillas are now winners in 6 of their last 7 season openers. Saturday night proves to be a historic win in program history. Pitt State football wins against a top 3 ranked opponent for the first time since 2017. Gorillas get their revenge after losing to Ferris State in the Division II playoffs just a couple of seasons ago. This also marks win number 1 in the Tom Anthony era. Here's what Anthony had to say after winning his first game as PSU head coach.
Our guys were ready. I mean, they were prepared for this. They've been busting their butts all off season, all through camp, and then just when we started diving into the Ferris State stuff a few weeks ago, I could just tell they were hungry and they were ready to get rolling. There was a lot of pressure to win that game, busting out black uniforms. I will tell you that was actually my biggest concern all week. Was not fair. It was like the black jerseys. Like, you know, what happens if?
Shout out to Pittsburgh, the whole community for coming out, showing out. We need this every week here in the jungle. Next, credit to the guys here, man. The preparation from spring ball to summer ball to fall camp, guys were locked in. I'm just so proud of these guys and how we worked together tonight.
Major League Baseball enters its final month of the regular season. The Kansas City Royals are still in the race for a playoff bid, and Kansas City looks to avoid being swept by Houston on Sunday. Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Royals versus the Astros. We're going to start in the 4th inning. No score until Yordan Alvarez sends this ball into the stands. That one clears the wall to put the Astros ahead 1-0 with the solo homer. Houston leads 3-1 in the 6th inning. Here it is again, this time to dead center. Isbell can't make a play, and another home run by Alvarez extends the Houston lead. Astros on top 4-1. So we go to the 7th inning. Same score. Bobby Witt Jr. hits one deep into the Crawford boxes. That's gone for his 30th home run of the season. First player in Royals history to hit 30 homers in back-to-back seasons. But in the 8th inning, Astros start to pull away. Yanier Diaz hits an RBI single. Astros sweep the Royals this weekend. Houston beats Kansas City 7-2. Out in New York, Yankees versus Cardinals. 2-1 Yankees lead in the 4th inning. Mason Wynn keeps this ball fair down the line. That scores a pair of runs to give St. Louis a 3-2 lead. Next batter, Lucan Baker. He's going to drive one deep to left field. A 2-run homer by Baker makes it a 5-2 Cardinals game. But the offense doesn't stop there. A little later, Jordan Walker elevates this one way back, and it has the distance and lands in the bullpen. Walker went 5 for 5 on the day with 3 RBIs. Cardinals lead 7-2. Game tied 7-7 in the 7th. Bases loaded. Lars Nootbaar sends this ball out to the short porch, nearly missing a grand slam, but that clears the bases for a 3-run double. Cardinals take the series in New York as they win 14-7. Week 1 of the NFL season kicks off this week. Kansas City Chiefs open the year on Thursday night as they host the Baltimore Ravens. On Sunday, head coach Andy Reid addressed the media.
Look forward to the challenge of playing the Ravens, good football team, good players, and good coaches. John does a phenomenal job there, along with Zach, Todd, and Chris in their spots with the offense, defense, and special teams. So we know they're well coached. We know they've got good players, and so we go through our preparation this week. Today's the first main day of practice, and we'll start it off.
All eyes will be on Arrowhead Stadium this Thursday when the Chiefs take on the Baltimore Ravens for the NFL season opener, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Kickoff for that game is set for 7:20. Well, still to come, a program in Colorado is helping those with addictions to overcome the use with fostering animals. Plus, a check of the 7-day forecast from the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:14 now on this Monday, Labor Day in the 4 states. Many of you may be sleeping. Some of you may be getting ready for your big Labor Day events later today. And if you are, well, thanks for spending some time with us. We're going to start with this live look from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking pretty good this morning. We'll shift over to our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. Also looking pretty good this morning as well. We'll head down south to the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking back to the north. And we've got one guy out there. There he is. And there he goes on his Labor Day morning. Because like us, not everybody gets the day off. So some of you may be actually getting ready for work this morning. KDOT camera, 69 Kansas Crossing, also looking good. Future track does not really have a lot to show us other than some clouds. They will increase rather quickly as we get through the morning hours. And then we'll have mostly cloudy to just plain old cloudy skies today. And that will continue through the night and into our Tuesday. In fact, though, the cloud cover is actually going to help keep us a little cooler. Take a look at Tuesday at noon. 70-degree temperatures all across the board. We're talking low 80s for highs and some upper 70s on our Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll start to see some clearing. Once we get a little more sunlight in here, that will give us the opportunity for an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm on our Wednesday. But most of us will remain dry, which is not good because we need some rain here in the 4 states. We really need the rain. We're just not getting it right now. 63 in Joplin right now. North-northeast breeze at 6. Dew points lower. Humidity's up there a bit, but otherwise a very comfortable start to the day. And a stray cloud here or there. Outside, temperatures around the region. Take a look at some of these upper 50s. Iola and Fort Scott. It's a little warmer to the south, upper 60s. Take a look at these temperatures, just absolutely gorgeous. Meteorological start to fall yesterday. Official start to the fall the 22nd of this month. Starting your day, again, will initially be partly cloudy, but those clouds will rapidly increase. We'll be about the mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, again, highs low to mid-80s across the region. And we'll have those mostly cloudy skies to contend with. Northeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. A light northeast breeze continues as we head into the overnight, as do the mostly cloudy skies out there as well. Temperatures, though, again, the clouds keeping us a little cooler. They're not letting in as much daylight, so we're talking low 60s, maybe even like this morning, some upper 50s. In fact, come tomorrow morning, we may see a few more upper 50s out there. So absolutely another gorgeous night. Give your AC a break. For me, that's a little too cool. May not open the windows. You folks at home, you may open the windows, and that's perfectly fine. It's going to be great. All right, upper 70s, low 80s tomorrow. Those pop-up storm chances Wednesday and Thursday. We're holding on to the low to mid 80s. We've got the weekend ahead of us, and it looks pretty good, sunny skies, but unfortunately, as you can see, now we're looking at things warming up a bit as we get into the second half of the weekend. Upper 80s, still below or at normal for Sunday, but then as we head into next work week, we are looking to get a bit on the toasty side. Temperatures going well above normal into the low to mid 90s. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, the nationwide listeria outbreak linked to recalled Boar's Head deli meats has killed at least 9 people so far, according to the CDC. CBS News has newly released documents showing dozens of violations at the Boar's Head plant in Virginia linked to the recall. CBS's Jared Hill has a look at how this is impacting communities around the country and what you should be on the lookout for.
Pat Fleming is used to taking care of his wife, Sue. He always made sure she had her Boar's Head liverwurst, the same kind that landed her in the hospital in July.
I've never been so sick in all my life.
The 88-year-old sickened by listeria, a bacteria that contaminated her deli meat. According to the CDC, at least 57 people have been hospitalized with listeria in more than a dozen states. 9 people have died, making this the largest outbreak of listeria since the 2011 outbreak caused by cantaloupe.
The symptoms of listeria are similar to food poisoning. Persons most at risk are older persons, people who are frail, the immune compromised, and persons who are pregnant.
This latest outbreak is linked to the Boar's Head plant in Jarrett, Virginia. Documents obtained by CBS News show federal inspectors flagged dozens of violations at the facility, including mold, mildew, and insects repeatedly found there. Boar's Head said it immediately responded to the issues, and the company has recalled all of the meats made at the plant.
It is different having an emptier grill.
The recall is having an impact at businesses across the country, like this hot dog joint in Virginia.
We understand, that this happens and, we don't want anyone to get sick.
Listeria symptoms usually start 1 to 4 weeks after eating contaminated food, but can begin as early as the same day or as late as 10 weeks, according to the CDC. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Health experts say double check your fridge for any recalled meats. If you find them, clean all surfaces they may have touched, including fruits and vegetables. New research shows hormone therapy can significantly help women during menopause. The study, published Thursday in JAMA Network Open, analyzed more than 100,000 women in the UK. The results found that postmenopausal women who used hormone therapy had slowed down their aging and improved their overall health, as opposed to postmenopausal women not using hormone therapy. This comes after a long history of misunderstanding when it comes to hormone therapy, with experts saying that studies from about 20 years ago may have become problematic in how they were executed. While experts encourage hormone therapy during menopause, women with a history of breast cancer or blood clots have to explore other options with their doctor. Living in a tree-filled neighborhood may reduce your risk of heart disease. Researchers collected health data from around 750 people in an area of South Louisville, Kentucky. They planted more than 8,000 trees in the area over the course of the 3 years in an effort to determine what health benefits the participants may receive from being near trees. Researchers found that participants had 13% lower levels of a blood marker associated with heart disease, heart attack, and stroke. The drop was similar to beginning a regular exercise routine. One expert says this study gives the strongest evidence of any study conducted on trees and their relationship to health. Getting treatment for substance abuse can be a long journey with a variety of roadblocks that can prevent someone from committing to receiving care. For patients entering residential rehabs, many who are also pet owners don't have the resources to have someone else take care of their furry friend while they're away. It risks people having to give up ownership of their animals, often adding another painful experience to their lives. Sue Guzman takes a look at a program offering hope.
For people struggling with drug addiction and alcoholism, deciding to enter a treatment program can be a major step towards their recovery.
My first time in rehab, I was 17 years old. My most recent bout was with crack cocaine, and it took everything from me.
Simon Rubik has been sober for more than 2 years now, but his choice to enter rehab was complicated by fears over not wanting to lose his German Shepherd named Tonks. It's because most residential rehab centers in the U.S. do not allow patients to bring their pets with them to the facilities.
Caring for another creature and having something else care for you the way that animals do is, it's just unconditional. And sometimes that's one of the things that people in recovery really need to be able to feel.
Thankfully, Rubik was connected with the Positive Recovery Group, a Denver-based program that fosters animals for people undergoing rehab treatments or going through domestic violence and mental health crisis.
Many of these folks have had the unconditional love and support of just their animal, especially when they're in active addiction. So when you're looking at going into treatment and what the options are for you, you're not going to compound trauma that you've already had by giving up the one thing that hasn't given up on you, and that's people's animals.
Positive Recovery now looking to expand its services nationally.
You're so worried about, the one companion that might be sticking with you through this. You can find a temporary loving home, and that way you can get the help you need.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a relatively pleasant start to the day out there, and it will still warm up, but not significantly so. We're going to have another full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, educators in Oklahoma are adjusting to new methods for test scoring after an unannounced change was made.
And some of us a pretty chilly start to the day today. We'll have some clouds out there to contend with as well. I'll have that Labor Day forecast for you coming up.
Plus, one organization helps remind us of the dangers of drug overdosing.
The 4 States Most Watched News starts now.
Well, good morning, 4 States, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:29. I'm Anthony Saviello.
I'm Chris Warner. Happy Labor Day.
I got a little bit more energy. I have to match your energy, Chris. That's what I'm trying to do.
You definitely picked up some energy.
I did. It's thanks to I don't have the coffee anymore. That's
just
why
kinda,
I have that energy.
Okay, see, it threw me because at 29 minutes ago,
it was.
He was not awake. Now he is. So happy Labor Day. Hopefully you're awake now. Hopefully you're awake, but it's because you've got the day off, and you're just gonna relax. Maybe you do have to work. Not everybody gets Labor Day off.
That's true.
We're here. We're live.
Yeah.
This isn't pre-recorded. Because then we'd still have to come in at like midnight to pre-record it. So, welcome.
Yep.
Happy Labor Day. Let's take a look at that forecast for you. I know you probably do have some plans for today. Even if you have to work, you may get off at a good time and you want to know what to expect. Well, we're going to start with a look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Looking pretty good this morning. Again, on the way in, noted a cloud or two. However, that's going to change as clouds increase across the area this morning. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good as well. We'll head down south to the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line. We have a few more cars on the road this morning. Again, some of us, you got to start your day, you got to get to work. Others, you may just be going out, you're getting some last minute supplies, and you want to get out early before everybody else goes and storms the stores for those last minute supplies like there's a winter storm coming. All right, future track. As we go through the morning, very quickly clouds begin to increase, and as we head through today, we're looking at mostly cloudy to at times just plain old cloudy skies out there, but we will be dry, so don't let the clouds deceive you. It will not rain today. It is not expected to rain today. 63 in Joplin right now, 62 in Pittsburgh. And we have a pretty cool start out there for many of us. We got a northeasterly breeze, upper 50s for Iola, Fort Scott, and Nevada. The rest of us low, mid, and then ultimately some upper 60s out there. But again, not bad. And I just now noticed too, look at Independence, 59 as well. So a bit of a chilly start for some. All right, partly cloudy in the morning. Clouds increase pretty quickly. Mostly cloudy skies today. Temperatures below normal. Average high is 88, and we are looking at low to mid 80s out there for us today. We're going to remain below normal at least for a little longer, and then some heat does make a return. We'll have details on that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Anthony?
All right, Chris. Thanks. Oklahoma schools are working to deal with a recent change in state test scoring. This comes after the Oklahoma Department of Education changed its scoring method, but didn't announce the change. Some Oklahoma schools saw an increase in students' test scores, but the scores were misleading. Miami schools say they don't know the exact reason for the new scoring methods.
I don't know all the reasoning. We really weren't communicated that the cut scores were going to be lowered. And so that's kind of why everyone's in limbo, awaiting an answer.
Miami schools look at a student's OPI score to gauge performance rather than their proficiency score, which offers a more accurate indicator of growth. Through using this method, they noticed their school has about a 10-point increase in scores compared to last year. Saturday was Overdose Awareness Day, and local organizations in Joplin put together a memorial walk for victims of substance abuse and overdose. In 2022, over 250 people in southwest Missouri died of a drug overdose. During the vigil, there are 250 pairs of shoes to commemorate those community members who are no longer with us due to substance abuse disorder.
Each year this event has gotten bigger and bigger, and that is awesome because it means that people are starting to catch on to what we're doing and helping us spread the word about substance use disorder and overdose awareness.
Over 60 people participated in this year's walk. The third annual Christian Heddy Memorial Car Show took place yesterday. Christian, the son of our very own Doug Heddy, passed away from cancer back in September of 2021. Since then, the car show has been held in his memory and raises money to support kids fighting cancer. The Christian Heddy Foundation Go Gold Gala will also be taking later this month on September 14th. The last day to buy tickets will be Tuesday, September 3rd. If you would like tickets, you can email christianheddyfoundation.com. Pittsburgh State held their season opening football game over the weekend. The tailgaters arriving as early as 8:30 Saturday morning to get a head start on the festivities. KOAM's Mitch Adams caught up with tailgaters at Carney Smith Stadium to speak about their devout enthusiasm.
We're getting fired up. We're tailgating. We've been here since 10. What is Fair State? We don't know. We're about to find out. Got some dogs rolling on the grill. We're going to play some cornhole, get some bags rolling, get everybody fired up for game day.
We started tailgating here in 1992. We started with a little disposable throwaway grill and some palooka sausage, and we grilled it, and it was great. We had a good time, and at the time there was like 1 or 2 people tailgating out here. We have a good time, but we get out here and we serve food a couple hours before the game time, and we have probably 50 to 100 people, depending on the game, that come out and eat.
Oh, Pitt State's tailgating, yes. The atmosphere here is just amazing. Hey, Gorillas! Gorillas!
Yes!
Pitt State beat Ferris State 19-3 in a battle of the Division II top 10. That's a look at the top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. New technology is allowing Realtor to track what home buyers are looking for in a home in real time. Plus, Ukraine launches its biggest drone strike to date, targeting Russia's infrastructure. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, the Israeli military said early Sunday that it recovered the bodies of 6 hostages captured during Hamas's October 7th attack. One of those hostages was a young Israeli-American man. Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv.
The bodies of 6 hostages were recovered in Gaza early Sunday, including a 23-year-old Israeli-American man, Hirsch Goldberg, Poland.
We are in a difficult day. The heart of the entire nation is torn.
We've been attacked from various corners of our nation by pure terror. And the most sadistic of all is, of course, the killing, the brutal murder of 6 innocent civilians.
The military said they were all killed by Hamas shortly before Israeli forces arrived and were found in a tunnel under the city of Rafah in southern Gaza.
They are cruel and disgusting and despicable terrorists who have no problem murdering people as they did.
Later Sunday, President Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with the parents of Goldberg, Poland. In a statement, the president said he's devastated and outraged by the killings.
I think President Biden and Vice President Harris are turning over every stone in their efforts to secure the release of the hostages and protect the lives of the hostages and achieve a ceasefire. I don't think they go a waking moment without focusing on this.
The deaths spurring protest and intensifying calls for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to reach a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Netanyahu said Hamas refuses to seriously negotiate.
Whoever murders hostages does not want a deal.
Over 100 hostages are still being held in Gaza by Hamas. 7 of them are American.
Hundreds of protesters blocked the main highway in Tel Aviv on Sunday night to protest the deaths of 6 more Israeli hostages. The Israeli military recovering the bodies of the captives it said Hamas had killed in Gaza. Some of the 6 hostages had been expected to be released eventually in a ceasefire. The country's largest labor union has called for a strike on Monday, saying the work stoppage will shut down the entire Israeli economy. Men and women in Cuba have begun embracing a trend that's spreading around the world. More and more Cubans, especially the young, are wearing their hair naturally curly to express pride in the Afro heritage. The phenomenon is giving rise to a strong community of specialized businesses, including makeup artists and stylists, who are on board with what's being referred to as Afro aesthetics. 125 people registered to attend a convention in Cuba that was dedicated to the concept. More than 2 million pounds of space debris from a NASA mission may be the cause behind a potential human-made meteor shower. In a mission to test its asteroid deflection technology, NASA intentionally crashed into a moonlet that was orbiting an asteroid in 2022. The collision created over 2 million pounds of dust and rock. A new study finds that fragments of the moonlet could land on Mars and Earth in between 10 and 30 years. with the meteor shower lasting up to 100 years, making it the first human-made meteor shower to occur. Russia says it's intercepted and destroyed more than 150 Ukrainian drones targeting power stations and oil refineries in an effort to slow down Moscow's assault. This was one of Ukraine's biggest drone attacks to date.
Officials across Russia are scrambling to respond to what could be Ukraine's largest drone attack yet. Russia's defense ministry is claiming to have shot down 158 Ukrainian drones overnight that targeted 15 regions of the country, including Moscow. The assault targeted Russia's energy infrastructure, including oil refineries and power plants. Fires broke out at several facilities. No deaths or injuries have been reported. Officials also shot down drones over Russia's Kursk region, where Ukraine launched a surprise incursion on August 6th. Ukraine's attacks come after an intense week of strikes by Russia, including targeting Ukraine's energy grid, which killed at least 9 people over 2 days. And on Friday, at least 6 people were killed and dozens injured in Kharkiv after a Russian-guided bomb attack. Victims were in a nearby apartment block, and a 14-year-old girl was on the playground. Despite this, civilians are trying to hang on to a sense of normalcy. Ukrainian students celebrated their first day back at school, just hours after a dawn air raid alarm rang out. The conflict's front lies with Russia, just 25 miles away.
We prepared everything for the new school year. Equipped the bunker in case of air alarms, so children will have a safe space because we continue lessons during the air raid alarms in the bunker. That's why I think everything would be good. Moreover, in this year, a lot of children wanted to study in person. More than 500 children.
Top Ukrainian officials are visiting Washington. They say Russia hit Ukraine with more than 400 drones and missiles in the last week. But Ukraine's allies have imposed restrictions that prevent it from using many weapons inside Russia, especially for long-range strikes. The Ukrainian delegation is requesting changes to that policy. For now, Ukraine is relying on domestically produced drones to strike Russia.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:45 on this Labor Day morning, and hopefully your Labor Day is off to a great start, whether you've got to work today or not. I mean, we have to work today. We're having a lot of fun. Yeah. He's having so much fun. He just doesn't know how to put it into words. So hopefully your day's off to a great day. Got a great day planned for you. Looking pretty good so far. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We'll head over to 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. Not a bad start to the day either. Same view from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. And I notice it's considerably darker. I think usually the parking lot lights in that shopping center there at the Bel Air Center are usually on, and they are not. And it is very dark looking out there. But otherwise, not a bad start today. KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing, also looking fairly good this morning as well. We had some pop-up showers and storms from Friday into the weekend, brought some heavy rain to areas, but unfortunately not many areas got rain, and that's going to be the case again as we head through this week as well, which is not good. For today, we'll have the clouds increase rather quickly through the morning hours and will be mostly cloudy to just plain old cloudy through the day today. That will carry on into our Tuesday as well and overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, but the clouds, take a look at where we're starting the day tomorrow morning. We got a lot more upper 50s out there for us, so a very cool start to the day. All right, Tuesday afternoon, here we are sitting into the 70s. We're going to be below normal today and tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow we're going to be a little cooler because it's just going to be so cloudy. As we head into our Wednesday, we're going to start off mostly cloudy, and we'll see clouds decrease a bit. Could see an isolated pop-up shower or storm, but again, it goes back to the majority of us will be dry, which is not the news we need because we need some additional rainfall around the area. We're just not seeing that many opportunities for it at this point. All right, current conditions though, 63 in Joplin, feels like that. North-northeast breeze at about 6 miles an hour. Around the area, it's talking about that cool start today, and remember what we saw on the future track. We've got some upper 50s out there. Independence, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada sitting into the upper 50s, and the rest of us low, mid, upper 60s. And then as we showed you on future track tomorrow morning, a lot more upper 50s out there, so a fairly cool start. All right, 64 when we get this day underway, about 8 partly cloudy skies again initially, and then those clouds increase pretty quickly, and we'll see sky temperatures about the mid 70s by 11 o'clock this morning, again with those mostly cloudy skies. Heading into the afternoon, average high is 88. We're looking at low to mid 80s today with that cloud cover across the area. Northeast breeze 5 to 10. Winds will remain out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour through the evening and overnight, down to the low 70s by 10. and at low 60s tonight for most of us. That's an average. Remember, as we've discussed, we have a 15-county area. I can't break down all 15 counties on here, but we can give you the average. But some of you may make the upper 50s overnight tonight, so a pretty chilly night for us. And in the next few days, again, low 80s, maybe even some upper 70s for highs on Tuesday. So some of you may be about 10 degrees below normal out there. Pop-up storm chances Wednesday and Thursday, a little warmer, mid 80s. Initially heading into the weekend, we're not bad. Sunny skies, temperatures low mid 80s. Then we start going to the upper 80s, and as we head into next week, we look to go a bit above average across the area. Get ready for the heat to return as we see highs back into the low to mid 90s. That's a check of your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
New technology is bringing light to what homebuyers are actually looking at during house tours, and property experts say their focus may need to shift to more important features. Ted Lindner has more.
When buying a home, where you look matters, and new technology shows some house hunters may be looking in the wrong place.
They're spending lots of time on more superficial things, perhaps the art on the walls. We've even seen buyers inspect the food in the fridge. But what they really need to be doing is looking at things like the brickwork, looking for signs of condensation or damp, the chimney, the boiler, the electrics.
Software company Toby is experimenting with eye tracking technology that gathers data on where potential homebuyers are looking during a tour and for how long.
Despite being one of life's largest financial decisions, a fifth of buyers spend 20 minutes or less viewing a home, and a further chunk of them only view a property once before putting their offer in.
One consumer who tested out the special glasses said it made her more aware while touring houses.
Because you know you've got them on, it does make you look up and look at certain things.
Early research from the device is being used by property software company Zoopla to help real estate agents close on more houses.
This viewing tech helps us really confirm what people are looking at and focusing in on. How do we present property? How do we reduce fall-through rates? How do we increase the chances of a property selling by actually being as transparent and upfront as possible in all those key bits of information? So let someone fall in love with the property.
More research with the technology could also help home buyers make informed decisions on a major life purchase.
The average consumer moves every 10 or 20 years, so this isn't like buying a car every 3 years, and technology like this sort of helps us and others work out, how to help consumers fill in those gaps and have a better experience.
A fearless cop wrangles a testy alligator with his bare hands, and the encounter was not only caught on camera, it was his second gator grabbing incident of the day.
You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. Full Shear Police in Houston, Texas used that old chestnut as a headline to share video on Facebook of a fearless and fast-handed cop who dealt with a surly snapping alligator on a homeowner's doorstep. As Lieutenant Bill Henry approaches the small gator, you can tell it ain't having it, aggressively snapping and hissing at the officer, who makes a lightning-fast grab to secure the angry animal. Looky-loos were suitably impressed by the bare-handed reptile wrangling.
Look at you, you're a hero.
And if that's not impressive enough, the gator grab was reportedly Lieutenant Henry's second of the day after nabbing another errant snapper from someone's backyard. Social media users were quick to praise his sheer lack of fear.
Your tail. Give me your tail.
I guess getting your hands dirty is just part of the job. This Oklahoma State trooper used his bare hands to snatch a possum found nesting in the engine block of a patrol cruiser that had sat unused in the motor pool for months. Facebookers praised this patrolman's possum plucking prowess, offering a suggestion to make the scurrying squatter an official mascot for the unit. Finally, these firefighters had to do a little protecting and swerving to corner a baby deer trapped in a South Dakota culvert. They were able to wrangle the frightened fawn and return it to its mother, who had been watching over the operation from just a few feet away. Again, social media users gave the first responders their due for this endearing and daring deer daring do. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I feel like these videos are a real good depiction of how I try to wrangle Chris in the mornings. We'll be right back. Friday was the third day of the Spirit of Boise, a 5-day hot air balloon festival held annually over Labor Day weekend. The Spirit of Boise Balloon Classic is held at Ann Morrison Park in Boise, Idaho, featuring dozens of unique hot air balloons over the course of the event. Friday morning's launch filled the hazy sunrise skies with colorful images.
Certainly an impressive sight. Now, of course, unfortunately, in that video, they were all laying down. They were getting ready, but still, hot air balloons are pretty cool. And speaking of cool, our temperatures are that way as well. We're looking low to mid 60s as we start the day. Clouds increasing, mostly cloudy, and mid 70s by late morning. Average high is 88. We are looking to be below that, low to mid 80s with those cloudy skies and a northeast breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Holding on to mostly cloudy skies through the evening and into the overnight, so we fall back into the low 60s. Maybe even some upper 50s out there. Upper 70s, low 80s on our Tuesday. Maybe a couple of pop-up showers or storms Wednesday and Thursday. Starting to warm up into the weekend. And as we head into next week, low to mid 90s. Let's check your forecast. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.